Welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, we're Matt and Shelby, and we've been traveling full-time for 4 months now. Make sure to go check out our other adventure videos. Last week, we showed you what it's like to hike up Mount Surd. Not only was this a fun time, but it also gives some of the best views of Dubrovnik. This week, we're still in Dubrovnik, and we're taking you shopping in the old city for some truffles. Come along as we teach you how to make your own truffle pasta. Today we are going to be making truffle pasta. The first time that I had truffle pasta was actually in Paris, and it was some of the most delicious pasta I've ever eaten, and such a unique flavor with the truffle. It's just different from anything else I've ever tried. But now being in Croatia, there's a ton of truffle pastas at basically any restaurant you go to. We have been on a hunt to find the best truffle pasta, and the one in France was still the best one. So I'm going to try to make that exact recipe tonight, especially since we have truffles in the area where I can go buy them. It's a lot harder at home. So I figured while we're here and we have truffles, we might as well use them. So I have all the ingredients except the truffles. So we figured we'd bring you along with us to the old city to buy some and just show you what it's like.
So why is our first cooking video all about truffles?
I can see no other recipe being as important.
I have to agree with you, mostly because, first of all, pasta is like one of the best.
Oh, my love language.
Yeah, I didn't propose to Shelby with a ring, actually.
A little
Proposed to her
strand of pasta
with tagliatelle. Actually, spaghetti would probably be better.
A little spaghetti-o to go on my
We are super excited about pasta in general, but truffle pasta in particular, because it's like so niche in the US, and because it's like such a thing here, I didn't really...
It's even not that expensive here. And part of the reason that it is so affordable and easy to get here is because it's from the region of Croatia called Istria. Truffles actually grow underground, kind of like mushrooms and things. I think they might technically be a fungus. And
gross.
Truffle farmers or hunters, whatever you call them, have specially trained dogs and sometimes pigs to
If you haven't seen the movie Pig, that's a movie you desperately... You should just stop this movie, and we'll link it in the description below.
Watch all the way through. Don't listen to him.
You should watch all the way through, but also it's just so much. Oh, that movie is so good, and it's so cool.
Once you gather them, they can only be stored for like a few days. They spoil really quick, so that's part of the reason it's hard to import them.
Now you know everything and more about truffles than you ever wanted to know. This right here is an incredible store.
This is your peace offering. Secured the goods.
Quick little travel tip for y'all. When you are paying for anything anywhere in the world, always use the local currency, like if you're paying with a credit card or something.
It may seem tempting to do US dollars because that's what you're familiar with.
But it's always more expensive.
But they're upcharging you, so make sure that you always accept local currency. More butter. Forgot to buy more butter, so I'm gonna run to the store right across the street. the ingredients you're gonna need today, besides the truffle slices that we bought this morning, are a pasta, obviously, preferably one that holds sauce well. So it could be like tagliatelle, something long and thick that will like really twirl the sauce together, or something with holes. So I got some long rigatoni, and then you'll need some truffle oil, which is really just like olive oil infused with truffles. Some mushrooms, white wine, Parmesan cheese, obviously, butter, mascarpone cheese, mascarpone, however you prefer to say it, and a shallot, which, funny story with this shallot, I actually haven't been able to find shallots out here in Croatia so far in any of the supermarkets. And the other day we were in the old city and there was this like pop-up fresh produce market that happens probably twice a week. And I saw shallots. The lady clearly didn't speak any English, only Croatian, and I don't speak Croatian well. So we were trying to get out money to pay her, and she was like, oh, no, like, it's from, like, I don't know how she said it, but she basically translated to us that she was giving us a complimentary shallot since we just wanted one. So very sweet. And then I have some salt out just for salting the pasta water and maybe salting the sauce at the end if it doesn't taste like it has enough flavor. And as for equipment goes, you'll need a cutting board to chop up your mushrooms and shallots, a big pan to stir it all together, and then a big pot for boiling the pasta. So let's get started. You'll want to start by finely chopping the shallot and the mushrooms.
One of the most important parts of any meal that you cook is having good wine while you're cooking the meal. So
Not too much though. You need to
not
stick
too
to the
much.
recipe.
You need to still be, it's like having a designated driver basically. Someone that's steering the ship or cooking the meal, aka
Well, the
Shelby.
designated driver specifically doesn't drink.
That's my point. So you don't get to drink.
Not what?
I get to drink as much as I want.
I don't remember agreeing to this. While you're sauteing both of those, you'll want to add in the truffle slices too. And I'm just gonna let this saute for a few minutes while the mushrooms brown a little bit. And then we'll deglaze it with our white wine.
Is the thing on? Shelby needs my help with some cheese grating. So she's called in the big guns.
You are the master cheese grater.
The master cheese grater. So we're gonna have some Parmigiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Whatever. Smell that. There's nothing like Parmesan.
I'm just gonna deglaze the pan with some white wine. So you want it to be al dente, which means it's just a little bit firmer than you would want to eat it. That way it's gonna continue cooking as it cools, and when I put it back in the sauce, it's gonna cook a little more, so. So I'm gonna add it to my sauce, but it's important that the sauce has been off the burner for probably about like 5 or 10 minutes to cool down a little bit, because if you add cheese into a hot liquid sauce, it could, I forget what the word is here.
Curdle.
It's a different word, but it could kind of tense up. Now when I add it in, it should hopefully just like stir in real nice and get kind of creamy, and then I'm gonna gently start heating it back up to make sure it gets warm again, but once it's all already stirred together, then we'll add the pasta, some Parmesan cheese, maybe a little bit of cooking pasta water. All right, I think it's ready for us to taste.
A+ job, Shell.
Next week, we're venturing off Croatia's mainland to visit the strange, somewhat spooky island of Lokrum. Legend has it that this island was cursed by Benedictine monks long ago. Now it's ruled by wild peacocks and gorgeous ruins. There might even be a Game of Thrones reference or two. We'll see you next week in Lokrum.